Hey everyone, ready to tackle stress?
Always a hot topic, right?
For sure. So we're diving into this book, Stress, Less, Live More.
Oh, I've heard good things about that one.
Yeah, it's packed with practical tips and even a little humor, which is always appreciated.
Humor is definitely key when it comes to stress.
Totally. And get this, the book says 77% of people experience physical symptoms because of stress.
Wow, that's a lot.
Right, so chances are you're listening and you're like, yep, that's me.
Probably. So where do we start? What actually happens when we feel stressed?
Great question. What's the science behind it?
Well, it all comes down to our fight or flight response. It's like that ancient wiring from our caveman days. Imagine facing a saber-toothed tiger.
Yikes.
Right. Your body floods with adrenaline, cortisol, getting you ready to fight or run.
Makes sense. But these days, it's more like facing a pile of emails or rush hour traffic.
Exactly. Not exactly life or death stuff. But here's the problem. Our brains don't always distinguish between real threats and those everyday pressures.
So we end up in this constant state of high alert.
Yep, and that's not good for our minds or bodies. Like having your car's emergency brake on all the time. Eventually, something's got to give.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
I've definitely felt that heart racing feeling when I'm late for a meeting, even though logically it's not life-threatening.
Exactly. And that's where this book comes in handy. Helps us understand those stress triggers and, more importantly, gives us strategies to deal with them.
Okay, so let's get into some of those triggers. What are the usual suspects?
Well, the book highlights work, deadlines, money worries, relationship hiccups.
Oh, yeah, those are all too familiar.
Right. And even just the daily grind.
It's that death by a thousand paper cuts effect sometime.
You got it. It's not always one big thing, but a million little things piling up. And the book points out some sneaky ways we actually add to our own stress.
Oh, no. Tell me more. What are we doing wrong?
Think about it. How often do you say yes when you really want to scream no?
Oh, all the time.
Right? Or maybe you try to make everything perfect.
Okay, that's me too. Guilty as charged. I guess it's easy to fall into those traps without realizing they're adding to the stress load.
Exactly. And then there's technology. Super useful, but also a major stressor.
Ugh, yeah. Constantly bombarded with notifications and news.
Right. It's like our brains never truly unwind.
So before we get to the solutions, let's talk about those common mistakes people make when dealing with stress. What are we doing wrong?
Well, one common pitfall is ignoring it, hoping it'll magically disappear.
Oh, I've tried that. Doesn't really work, does it?
Nope. Just like that laundry pile you're avoiding, it just keeps growing.
So true.
Yeah.
I've also been guilty of the quick fix approach. You know, another coffee, a sugary treat.
Ah, yes, the quick fix. It feels good in the moment, but often backfires in the long run. Caffeine can increase anxiety, and those sugary treats can lead to energy crashes, making you feel even more stressed.
Right, so it's like putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg, not addressing the real problem.
Exactly.
What about all those self-help books and podcasts promising stress relief? Are they all bogus?
Not necessarily. They can be helpful, but the key is to actually take action.
So it's not enough to just read about it. Got to actually do something.
Exactly. Like having a gym membership but never going. You have to put those strategies into practice.
Makes sense. So we know what not to do. Let's get to the good stuff, the things that actually help.
Now we're talking. And Stress Less, Live More has a whole bunch of proven techniques.
Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with your best shot.
One of the simplest yet most effective is getting moving.
Wait, exercise. I thought we were trying to relax.
I hear you. But exercise doesn't have to mean hours at the gym. Even short bursts of activity can make a difference. Think a brisk walk, dancing to your favorite music, or even just some stretches at your desk.
Okay, that sounds more manageable. But how does moving your body actually help with stress?
Well, first of all, exercise increases blood flow, delivers more oxygen to your brain, which helps you think more clearly. It also releases those feel-good endorphins, which are natural mood boosters, and it releases muscle tension, which often builds up when we're stressed.
Wow, so many benefits.
Right. It's not just physical, but mental and emotional too.
So a little movement can go a long way. What else?
This one might sound a bit intimidating, but it's incredibly powerful. Mindfulness and meditation.
I have to admit, I always picture people sitting in complete silence for hours when I hear meditation. Not really my thing.
I get it. But mindfulness is just about being present in the moment without judgment. And meditation is a practice that helps you cultivate that awareness. It doesn't require hours of sitting like a statue.
Okay, that makes me feel a bit better. But how do you actually do it?
There are tons of simple techniques. The book suggests a really easy one called the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. You simply notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste.
Wait, that's it?
That's it. Simple,
I
right?
love that it uses your senses, makes it feel more grounded.
And there are tons of apps out there like Headspace or Calm that offer guided meditations. They're like training wheels for your mind.
Ooh, good to know. So we've got exercise and mindfulness. What other proven methods does the book recommend?
Taking timeouts. And no, they're not just for kids anymore.
Timeouts for adults. I love it.
Right. It's all about giving yourself permission to step away from whatever's causing you stress.
Hit that reset button.
Exactly.
So what does a grown-up timeout actually look like?
It could be as simple as setting a timer for 5 minutes, closing your eyes, taking a few deep breaths, or stepping outside for fresh air, listening to a calming song. Just disconnect and give yourself a moment of peace.
I love that, creating those little pockets of calm throughout the day.
Exactly. And the book even talks about micro breaks, those 30-second pauses to stretch, breathe, look away from your screen.
Oh, I need those. My eyes
Oh.
are permanently glued to a screen these days. Okay, what's next on our stress-busting journey?
This one is essential. Connecting with other people.
Wait, socializing is good for stress relief?
Mm.
I always thought it was the opposite.
It can be if it involves big crowds or forced interactions, but talking to a friend, family member, even a coworker can be incredibly therapeutic.
So sharing your thoughts and feelings can actually help.
Absolutely. It helps you process things, release tension, and even gain a fresh perspective.
I tend to isolate myself when I'm stressed. Maybe I should try reaching out more.
It's worth a try. Even a quick text, phone call, virtual coffee date can make a difference, and there's a scientific reason why.
Oh, tell me more.
Socializing releases oxytocin, sometimes called the cuddle hormone.
Oh, that's cute.
It's associated with bonding and connection, and it actually counteracts the effects of stress hormones.
So it's like a biological hug.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got exercise, mindfulness, timeouts, and social connection. We're building quite the arsenal against stress.
Right. And this next one might be tough for some, but it's important. A digital detox.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
As someone who's glued to their phone, I have a feeling this one's going to be tough.
I hear ya. But technology, while useful, can be a major stressor. The constant notifications, the pressure to be available 24/7, the never-ending stream of information, it can be overwhelming.
Okay, I'll admit I probably spend way too much time scrolling through social media.
Yeah.
But how do you actually disconnect in today's world? It feels almost impossible.
You don't have to go cold turkey. Start small. Designate certain areas in your home as phone-free zones, or set aside specific times to put your phone away and engage in other activities.
I like that. Small, manageable steps.
Right? It's about finding that balance.
Okay, what else have we got?
This one might surprise you. What you eat actually impacts your stress levels.
Really?
Oh, yeah. The book emphasizes fueling your body with nutritious foods that can help reduce stress.
So what are some of those stress-busting foods?
Think almonds, dark chocolate, in moderation, of course, avocados, leafy greens.
You had me at dark chocolate. Are there any foods we should be avoiding?
It's best to limit caffeine, sugary drinks, processed foods. They can actually spike those stress hormones.
Makes sense. Nourishing our bodies with the good stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, this is all super helpful. What about natural remedies and supplements? Do they have a place in all of this?
They definitely can. But, as always, talk to your doctor before starting any new supplement regimen.
Got it. So what are some of the things the book highlights?
Herbal teas are a great place to start. Chamomile is known for its calming effects. Peppermint can help ease tension headaches. And lavender is known for its relaxing scent.
I love a good cup of herbal tea before bed. Anything else?
Aromatherapy can be helpful too. Essential oils like lavender, eucalyptus, frankincense, you can diffuse them or apply them topically.
I actually have a lavender essential oil roller I keep in my purse. It's a lifesaver.
See? It works. What about supplements?
Yeah, are there any that have shown promise for stress relief?
Ashwagandha is one that stands out. It's an adaptogenic herb that's been used for centuries in Ayurvedic medicine. It helps your body adapt to stress.
Wait, adaptogenic, what does that even mean?
It's like having a built-in stress buffer. Adaptogens basically help your body roll with the punches and stay more resilient.
That's amazing.
What else? Magnesium is another good one. It helps regulate those stress hormones and relax your muscles. And then there's CBD oil, which has become really popular for stress relief.
I've heard good things about CBD oil. How does it work?
It's thought to interact with the body's endocannabinoid system, which plays a role in regulating mood, sleep, and stress response.
Wow, so many options.
Right. It's about finding what works best for you.
This has been so helpful.
I'm glad. Remember, stress management is a journey.
It's about progress, not perfection, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we've only scratched the surface. There's a whole section on preventing stress from creeping back in.
Well, I'm definitely ready to dive into that. But first, I think we need a little break.
Sounds good to me. We'll be back in a moment with more stress-busting strategies from Stress Less, Live More. Welcome back. Ready for more stress-busting strategies?
Absolutely. I'm all ears.
Great. So let's talk about preventing stress from sneaking back in. It's like building a fortress of calm.
I like that analogy. So where do we start building these strong walls?
The foundation. Your mornings?
Really, my mornings are usually a chaotic race against the clock.
I get it, but even 5 minutes can make a difference.
5 minutes. Okay, maybe you can squeeze that in. What kind of magic can you do in 5 minutes?
Instead of grabbing your phone first thing, try something that nourishes your mind and body. A few minutes of stretching, some deep breathing, or maybe just jotting down some thoughts in a journal.
I'm totally guilty of doom scrolling before I even get out of bed. Maybe I should swap that for some quiet reflection with a cup of tea.
There you go. Setting a positive and intentional tone for the day.
Okay, morning routine check. What's the next brick in our stress prevention fortress?
Learning the power of no.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I hate saying no and disappointing people.
It's hard, but saying yes to everything often means saying no to your own well-being.
True, but how do you actually say no gracefully?
The book has some great phrases you can use. Things like, that sounds lovely, but I'm already booked solid. Or, I wish I could, but I need to prioritize something else right now.
Okay, those are helpful. I have to practice those. So what else can we do to keep those stress gremlins away?
This one's about mindset.
Yeah.
Learning to focus on what you can control.
Right, because I know I get stressed about things that are totally outside of my control, which is just frustrating.
Happens to all of us. The book talks about this circle of control.
Ooh, I like visuals. Tell me more.
Picture 3 circles. The inner circle. Things you have direct control over. Your choices, your actions, your attitude. The middle circle. Things you can influence but not fully control. Maybe a project at work, a family decision. And the outer circle. Everything outside your control. Weather, traffic, other people's opinions.
So the idea is to focus our energy on that inner circle.
Exactly. Letting go of what you can't change and focusing on what you can.
I like that. It's empowering.
Right. And speaking of empowerment, the next strategy is all about prioritizing you time.
Self-care. I'm a big believer in that, but finding the time is hard.
It's about making it non-negotiable. The book suggests creating a self-care menu.
A menu.
Yeah, a list of activities that bring you joy and relaxation.
Ooh, I like that. Mine would definitely include reading, a long bath, maybe a Netflix binge.
Perfect. The key is to schedule these things in, just like any other appointment.
No canceling on myself. Got it. What else does the book suggest?
This one might sound cheesy, but keeping a gratitude journal.
I've heard of those. How does writing things down reduce stress?
It's about shifting your focus. Each day, write down a few things you're grateful for. Doesn't matter how big or small. It could be a good meal, a sunny day, a kind word from a stranger.
So you're training your brain to look for the good.
Exactly. And over time, this can actually rewire your brain to be more positive and resilient.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, I'm willing to give it a try. What else?
This one is crucial, but often overlooked. Sleep.
I know I need more sleep,
Uh,
but there are never enough hours in the day.
I hear you. But sleep deprivation is like adding fuel to the stress fire. When you're sleep deprived, your body produces more cortisol, making you more reactive to stress.
Oh, so it's a vicious cycle. Stress messes with sleep. Lack of sleep makes you more stressed.
Exactly. That's why the book emphasizes creating a sleep-friendly environment and a consistent sleep routine.
Okay, I'm definitely guilty of scrolling through my phone right before bed. And my weekend sleep schedule, non-existent.
Even small changes help. Set a digital curfew an hour before bed. Aim for a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. It helps regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle.
Okay, challenge accepted. I'm going to prioritize sleep. What's the final piece of advice?
This one's simple but powerful. Laughter.
Ooh, I love to laugh. But how does that help with stress?
Laughter is a natural stress reliever. It releases endorphins, lowers those stress hormones, boosts your immune system, and even relieves pain.
So watching a funny movie or joking with friends is basically good medicine.
You got it. Surround yourself with things that make you laugh.
I'm adding more laughter to my to-do list for sure.
Excellent. And remember, stress management is a personal journey.
It's about finding what works for you, right?
Exactly.
This has been so insightful. I feel much more equipped to handle stress.
That's great. And remember, it's not about being perfect.
Progress, not perfection.
There you go.
I'm feeling inspired to build that stress-free fortress and live a calmer life.
That's the goal. This book is such a great guide for creating a more balanced and fulfilling life.
Absolutely. We've covered so much ground today, from the science of stress to all those stress-busting
It's
strategies.
been quite a journey.
It really has. Now, before we wrap things up, what about that thought-provoking question you mentioned earlier, the one that leaves our listeners pondering?
I've got it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Knowing that stress is a natural part of life, what is one small change you can make today to start prioritizing your well-being and stress less?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm
Yeah.
going to be thinking about that myself.
Me
Yeah.
too. It's all about taking those first steps, no matter how small.
Well said. I'm feeling ready to stress less and live more.
That's what it's all about.
Thanks for joining us on this exploration of stress management.
It's been my pleasure.
Until next time, remember to take care of yourselves and stress less.
Welcome back. I'm feeling so much more zen after that.
Right. All those strategies, it's amazing how much they can make a difference.
And they're all things anyone can do. Doesn't have to be complicated.
Exactly. Even small changes can make a big impact, whether it's getting enough sleep or taking a few minutes to practice gratitude.
Yeah, it's about those small, consistent choices that add up over time.
Exactly. And, it's important to remember that stress management is a journey.
Not a destination.
Right. It's not about being perfectly zen all the time. It's about having those healthy coping mechanisms for when life throws those curveballs.
It's about being human, having those stressful moments, but having the tools to manage them so they don't take over.
Absolutely. It's about reclaiming that power and choosing how you respond to stress. I love that. So to everyone listening out there, I hope you're feeling inspired to take charge of your stress and create a calmer, more joyful life.
Me too. Remember, you have the power to choose. You can let stress overwhelm you, or you can use those tools we talked about and manage it.
And if you're looking for a really great guide, definitely check out Stress Less, Live More. It's packed with practical advice that can make a real difference.
It's a fantastic resource for anyone who wants to stress less and live more.
Well said. Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining us on this exploration of stress management.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, take care of yourselves and remember to stress less.